Jacob and Esau is fighting, the mama said, there's a war of two nations. On the inside, I look at this story that I'm getting ready to birth, but it's struggling with me. I think your greatest struggle is just going to be against you birthing the better you. Every time you try and come to it, you're going to struggle with the doubt in your mind. It'd be like, if you can, if you should, if you're big enough or strong enough. The crazy thing about this story, when he's coming out, the hand grabs him and pulls him back in. These are babies. Of course, this is earlier in creation, so they're stronger and smarter than what we are now, but they're still babies. And you gotta find enough strength inside of you to say, I'm not gonna let anything stop me. I'm not gonna let anything hold me. I'm not gonna let anything get in front of me. Every time that you get in your way, you gotta pull you out. You gotta pull you back. Gotta pull back fear, gotta pull back deception, gotta pull back me lying to me. So you pull them back and came out first. I'm tied to first. You may be tired, but you're tied to first. You may not understand it, but you're tied to first. So a lot of your journey, a lot of your life, a lot of stuff that you go through, you may be tired of it, but you're tied to it. You can't give up because you're not tied to like the weight of losing. You're not tied to the weight of worry, fear of what people think about you. You got to be so tied to your assignment, to your greater you, that this is just a reminder to me of what God expects from me. Anytime you get sidetracked, look at the reminders. It said that they are they're fighting in that war from the time they're born. So they hate each other. But you'll never see them in the text together until there's a struggle or a combining. So we come to the point in the text where Jacob is disturbed in his spirit, so he leaves his house in the middle of the night, running from his brother, and finds himself in the middle of a field. And it said, then came a man that wrestled with him all night long. And I wonder there, because I think about it, and I'm like, well, where did the man come from? Who was this man? And they don't even give him a name. He's just some random. Now, when you read the text, you'll see that he wrestled with the man, but he fights with God. So every time that you're battling it, know that God doesn't fight against you, but he's fighting with you. Every time you struggle with the connotation, the thought, the idea, the misperception, the place where you didn't think so, other people's doubt on you became so big that it began to limit you. No, that's when God steps in to fight with you. I don't want you to think that you're so big, to think you're so great, to think that you're so strong that you could oppose God and stand to live to talk about. I think your story and my story, his story is the same. It's that in those moments where it's me beating the hell out of me, that's when God shows up and fights for me. So I'm thankful for the way God shows up and fights for me. Thankful I didn't think I would make it. He showed up and fought for me. In the middle of the night is where you find your greatest struggle. It's where I had a teacher that told me that Jeremiah, in the middle of the night, he said you lay in bed and there are demonic entities around your bed praying for your life. They're warring in the spirit to see who won based off your actions throughout the day. I don't believe in all that stuff now, but what I do believe in is that somewhere where my actions caught up with my lifestyle and warrant the arrest for me to end up going to hell and not live to see tomorrow, I think that's where God shows up and fights for me. She said just at the break of day, when the demons gained edge, I think, over God, because the case was too strong, the indictment was too big. It was too much evidence against you that they should have won it. That's when Jesus shows up. She said something significant. She said that's when he shows up and breaks it. Breaks up the argument, breaks up the fight. That's not only her story, that's my story, but that's Jacob's story. Because he's tired of fighting. You ever felt like that? You're tired of fighting. You're tired of going back and forth, not with nobody else, just the thoughts in your mind. You won't make it. You won't succeed. You won't see it. This is all that it ever Jacob be. Said, tired of fighting. You gotta bless me before you leave me. And I think Jacob comes to a place of saying to himself, but then professing to God, I can't. And God grabbed his leg. Says the man pleaded with him, begged with him, urged him, please. It's almost the break of day. And I can't stand the light. Jacob said, you gotta bless me before you leave me. And God grabbed his leg. In the womb, he's held back because something grabs his leg. In the battlefield, and it says it's hollowed it at his joint, broke it. Every time, every place, every thought, every person, every incident, and every accident, God said, from the womb, I'm breaking it. Every place that you would be crippled and stopping, I'm breaking it. Every time that you would stand in your way, I'm breaking it. I let somebody else in front of you to stop you, I'm breaking it. I'm breaking every generational curse. I'm breaking every bad habit. I'm breaking every doubt in your mind. I'm breaking everything that you used to struggle with from the time that you birthed it to the time that you develop into it. I'm breaking it. So I won't limit you, but I free you. It's crazy how he left with a limp, but he left with the mark on his life that it was real. That God changed his name. I don't struggle with the who I used to be. I struggle with telling people, so my identity becomes it's real. That what God did in my life was, how he brought me and kept me and fought for me, that was real. What you fight with today? What you've been struggling with from the time you was a child. People didn't believe you, so they couldn't speak it over you. You began to fight with you. Know that God not only shows up and shows out, but God shows up, turn the show out, but God will break it and deliver you from it. God will break it and promote you in it. God will break it and allow you to see it. Then don't think you've come all this way to die here. Don't think you've come all this way to be tired and give up here.